Hey there, YouTube world. It's Blake here once again with another gun video. This is pertaining to many semi-automatic Taurus models. A lot of them, have Decocker, and a lot of them don't. Let me go ahead and grab my gun off the wall. Some good stuff. Alright, now let me go ahead and safety check this because I didn't do it before. Okay. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Good to go. Okay, now this bad boy is not loaded, but I'll do this with it loaded and feel very comfortable. What I'll go ahead and do is let me see if I guess should I do it from that side or this side? I'll do it from this side with my thumb. No. I'll go ahead and pull in the trigger, and you can feel on these Tauruses after you shoot them for a while, you know when it's gonna break. Like, you have to put that extra little bit of into fire. Now I'm safe to check it again before I fire it, just because I'm safe like that. And then you rack it and listen to the reset. Nice. But what I wanted to show you here is you go ahead and pull the trigger in. Like I said, if you know your Tauruses, you know whenever how much more pressure you gotta put. But it's kind of like a little wall right there. Pull the safety, and your gun will stay with that long of a trigger pull. Now, if you drop the safety, you'll notice that the trigger will go forward. When you're doing this procedure, you can drop the safety down one click, and it'll put it right back. And then you completely drop the safety, and you're ready to fire. Now, why I use this is because if I was gonna go pick up this gun and someone was in my house or whatever, I know that I can put my finger on there. If I'm ready to point the gun at whatever, go ahead and drop that safety completely, and just hold that retention, and you can see my finger is still nice and pulled in. Trying to give you a good angle. And from there on, you can safety it back up, and it'll stay right back. Or, like I said, you can decock it. So, it's a multiple purpose kind of a little thing here going. Doesn't hurt the gun, doesn't hurt anything on the inside. Did this with my 24/7, and it really was nice. You can pull that trigger back, know that it's not a hairpin trigger, and you can just put your finger on there, drop safety, and be ready to fire. So that is that. I wanted to show another thing too. I'm going to lock this bad boy back. Now, I just recently had to send this back because the Guidrod was broke on it. And what it was doing was, I first noticed the first sign was, you take a live round and put it down in the barrel there, And if you can't just release that and it go all the way forward, either you're just not pulling back right, or your guide rod's messed up. I mean, you can't limp wrist it, put it back or whatever, but I'll show you. Once again, go ahead and let us go. And then we'll go ahead and drop that live round in there. And I'll go ahead and grab it and let it go, and it batters. Now, if yours won't go all the way forward, which I noticed mine was doing, bad guide rod. Another thing I was experiencing was shove a mag up in it and it would slam the slide forward. Another thing is too, if the guide rod and the springs and everything don't look straight to you, just a little hair, you more than likely got some problems with the springs kinking and stuff like that. I think that was one of the other problems with the guide rod and the spring assembly, that the spring simply was like, I had to like grab the guide rod and springs and flatten them out and then put it back in the gun. And it wasn't like, it was weird whenever I would go put the spring back on the barrel and reassembly, like when you pull it back and you're trying to seat it on that block, it like just didn't want to pull, it didn't want to give me that slack, so I had to move it around or grab it with 2 fingers instead of just one on top. That was another sign to me, something was wrong there, and I called it, and I sent it to them, and sure enough they told me that the guide rod was broke. So I got that fixed, and now it's fine. So no more stovepiping. You'll notice when your guide rod is messed up, you'll get some stovepiping and failure to feeds. There's nothing wrong with my extractor or whatever. It was just in the guide rod. It just was kinked and broke, so it wasn't doing its job. Now another thing too, whenever you guys are going to put your guide rod back on the block on the barrel, make sure you hear that snap. Like, you'll hear it fit right in its little spot. Like, you'll hear it click, ting, and that's how you know it's set. I've seen a couple of videos where the guy took his slide off and everything, and the guide rod just was hanging and only just held in by it's being barely set in the barrel, or not in the barrel but in the frame or in the slides, little hole in the bottom, and then it fell out completely. You want to make sure that you get that guide rod seated, because that'll break it right there. So just a little bit of words of advice, and I hope maybe you guys will use it with I call it the baby decocker, because it's really not a decocker, but it's more of to set you up. So if you grab your gun and walk out in the living room and a perpetrator's out there, you can put your finger on the trigger, drop that safety, and as long as you have it pointed at them, that's where it's intended to go, then that's where the round will go, and you don't have to have all that pullback. Sets it right nice. So just a little bit there, but let me know what you think. Subscribe and leave me some comments, please. Thank you. Have a good one, you guys. Peace.